We're going to try this again because the last time I went live, the camera went flying off the tripod. So we're going to try this again. I'm here in the studio today and I'm going to be rearranging it. I'm going to tear it all apart, tear it all down, show you everything. So you can just hang out with me, jump in the chat, send me some comments. I'll stop over and look in and see what's going on as much as I can. But for now, I'm going to get started. So I'll try to show you a little bit. Hopefully I don't disconnect the camera like I did last time, but I've got a couple of areas that I want to change. I've got this portrait area here, which is a couple of hand-painted UK backdrops. And then I've got this area right here, which the gray one I painted, and then these two other, kind of wheat-colored ones are hand-painted backdrops UK. Down here, you can see on the left-hand side there is a gray oliphant that I'll be taking down. And then down in the far end is a lifestyle area that I was using to try to set up as a podcast area because I thought that would be the best thing to put it back there. But I'm not so sure. So the best thing that I can do right now is hopefully not get this camera to fly off the tripod again. But really what my aim is to take this all down, take it all apart, roll up all the backdrops, kind of make it a clean, starting fresh type of area, and then rethink through how I want to do all of this. Where do I want to put the podcasting area? Because what I had down in the back, I just didn't like the way that it was looking. So I may wind up keeping everything back there. I don't know. But right now, I just wanted to take everything down, get a fresh, clean view of it all, and then start to put up only the things that I need to make this a functional space. So while it's awesome to have all these incredible backdrops and places that I can shoot, I really want the space to be functional. I really want to be able to come in here and turn on a camera and start recording and not have to think about it too much. So that's what I'm going to do here today. Hang out with me, jump in the comments. I'll probably put some music on. Hopefully I don't get banned or shut down or whatever, but hang out with me. I'll be talking through how I do all this stuff. You'll hear me cursing and whatnot, but yeah, jump in the comments. Ask me anything. I'll jump in here and answer as much as I can. So in the meantime, here we go. I'm going to start over here. So maybe I'll just point you in this direction and you can kind of watch me do what I do over here. So let's take it all apart. And I'll try to narrate what I can just so you understand what's happening. But yeah. All right. So all the chairs. Got all the chairs. Vintage apple boxes, literal apple boxes. And I'm just going to be throwing shit around, trying to make sure that it all looks good. And then I start essentially from scratch. So this is from Hand Painted Backdrops UK. And yeah, these are beautiful. I got this from Mondi Mitchell, who is an incredible photographer based out of Plymouth, New Hampshire. And unfortunately, after many, many years, decade plus, 15 years, 20 years in business, she's gone out of business and facing what a lot of us face, which is not enough clients and not enough money coming in. So she was closing up her studio and was selling a bunch of stuff and asked me if I wanted to come down and take a look at some things. She's about 2 hours away. So I went down and I checked it out. And I got some incredible stuff. So I got these wheat colored backdrops, which I've never had before. I've tried to paint some. I have some gold and some yellow, but I never had any of these wheat ones. And I love the way that these look with certain skin tones. So yeah, the wheat ones, hand painted backdrops UK. So that's pretty cool. I'll get rid of this overlay for now. Cool. Wood palette, get that out of the way. Drop this down. So these big lights that I have are the Nanlite Forza 500B, meaning they are bicolor, and they are 500 watts. These are amazing lights. I love the stuff by Nanlite. And I have them on these rolling flashpoint stands, which probably makes a lot of people nervous, but not me. They are heavier lights, though. Not going to lie to you. And move it over here. So, yeah, these lights are dope. The Nanlite Forza 500B version 2, they're great, man. Really, really powerful lights. I did not get the color versions. I just got the bi-color version, so daylight and then like a tungsten. But you have green and magenta shift on them if you need it. I've never really needed that. I put everything in. I put this one particularly, this is my favorite modifier. It is the 39-inch Rotolux by Elinchrom. It is a phenomenal, well, I'll give you a look at the inside, double diffusion. Great, great modifier. I basically built my business with this modifier. And I've got another one sitting around somewhere. I should probably sell it, see if maybe do a giveaway or something. But favorite modifier in the studio, bar none. This is what I kind of created my look with. And I love it. Love this modifier. Perfect size, perfect depth. Creates beautiful, beautiful light. So I'm just going to kind of move that over in this area. I'll probably be bumping into that quite a bit. All right. And then this backdrop, back out this way. And I'm going to drop it down a little bit. This will probably make a lot of people cringe, but it's just material. We're not dealing with life or death here. Wrinkles and patina and all that stuff, in my opinion, makes things look better. But undo the Mathellini, get the stand out of the way, lay this down, start rolling it up so that I can, perfect, look at that. Hand painted backdrops UK. Another wheat one. Not there. Now, this backdrop here, I painted this backdrop myself. This is the very first backdrop I ever painted. When I first learned how to start shooting portraits, I grabbed a regular backdrop, just a canvas drop cloth from Home Depot, and I painted that. I didn't prime it. I didn't do anything. I just started slapping some latex paint on it, and it is stiff as a board, and it's been through hell, but man, oh man, do I love this backdrop. So I'm going to take this down as well. These little floating floor pieces are just that. They're just floating floor pieces that I picked up as remnants at some yard sale, and to create some basic flooring looks, but I just kind of take them apart and put them together as I need them. So, all right, I got to get a ladder, try to take this thing down. But, all right. Most understated thing in a studio. If you don't have them, get yourself some good sandbags, please. Safety is important. My sandbags are basically junk because I've been using them for so long, but they still work. And I know a lot of people are out at imaging this week, so I'm probably talking to a whole nothing burger of an audience, but whatever. All right, I'm going to grab a ladder. I'll be right back. I'll keep talking. Hopefully the microphone will still get picked up as I grab my different ladders. And I'll bring you guys on. I'll bring you guys along when I get a chance. I'll show you some of the other areas of the studio. Oof. I'm going to be getting gross today. These are just held up by thumbtacks, which I just literally ripped off the wall. And the stud stayed in the wall. All right. Well, there's that. Now, over here. Oh, yeah, this is going to be a comedy all day, just so you know. Push that in. Oof. Oh my God, Matt, you're ruining your backdrops. You know, I really don't care. I've had these things forever. I love them. Give them a little bit of, they're just fabric, man. These aren't baby seals. We're just toss these around. I don't care. All right, I gotta see if I can find a cardboard tube that I can roll that up with. Not sure if I have one. Got all sorts of tubes and PVC, but this is not the right size. This is not the right size. Have anything over here? I'll use one of these. All right. So a while back, I got all these like, I don't even know what they are. I think they're closet rods. I think is originally what they were. And these kind of like slick vinyl pieces on the outside, which I don't really need. I'll throw that away. Jesus. All right. Doing any updates? Yeah, I'm trying to. So not quite sure what I'm going to do yet, Judith, but yeah, that's kind of why I'm tearing this whole thing apart, is just trying to figure out if I have a clean slate, what's it all going to look like? I have no idea. So we're just starting here. No real plan, but I just know that my brain is itchy thinking about it. And so I want to try to make this a little bit better. Now, usually what I would do here is tape this down to whatever rod or tube or piece of PVC. But in this particular case, this is such a stiff backdrop that I'm really not even trying to, and I don't have the right diameter tube. So you can see, just kind of stays on its own, no tube included. Now, that's not the way that I would store it forever, but it is what it is. All right. So now we've kind of got this area clean. Put everything up front here. I'll move my mirror down here. And I'll move my light back so that doesn't get in the way. So really what we're in right now is just the straight up, I'm ripping shit apart phase. It's a lot easier to take everything down and then see what I'm working with than it is to try to do stuff piecemeal. It just doesn't work for me. Doesn't work well. So now I'll just kind of keep pointing you around as I do stuff. I don't know. All right. Paul C. Buff. So I've got my Flashpoint 600 in this, but I adapted a Paul C. Buff softbox, which I used to use with all my Einsteins. I just got a new speed plate for it to make it Bowens mount to attach to the Flashpoint flash, but not using a lot of strobes these days. So I think what I'm going to do is take apart all my strobe stuff, because I've got a couple of strobes set up, but I would rather use the stands for other things. I'm really not using the strobes. So if I need to use a strobe, I can just put one back on the stand. But I'm going to disassemble that, think about what modifiers I want out. Again, I want this area to be clean and I want it to be functional. I just don't want clutter hanging around. So I'm going to take it all apart. But I love these Flashpoint lights, man. And Adorama's never going to sponsor me, but I love these things. These are my workhorses. I have a 600, a 400, and a 200, and they're my favorite things outside of my constant lights. These are my favorite things to use because I'm just going to throw a simple little reflector on to protect the tube here. That's not a big enough one. Let's put a bigger reflector on. There we go. That way, the tube just stays a little bit more protected. As I move shit around. Kind of square footage and layout are you working with? Been a while since I've watched your studio tour. Great, great question. So, the way that I have my whole studio set up. So this area here is kind of like an L, almost like an L shape. And it's probably, I think it's somewhere around 1,000 square feet if I tabulated it. So it's, I think the building is 40 feet long at least. So let's say it's 40 feet long from the garage doors here to the back wall, and it's 15 feet wide, 14, 15 feet wide. So whatever that is, 600 square feet. And then this area here, which is this corner, is probably another 250 square feet. So we're looking at 15 by 15. So yeah, so probably in that 900 to 1,000 square foot range, depending on how I want to utilize it. And then I've got a 400 square foot client area, probably another 200 square feet for the kitchen, another 150 square feet for the dressing room, and then a bathroom. So we're looking at somewhere around 1,800 square feet generally for the whole building of usable space. So that's about what I'm working with. All right. These flashpoint stands on the rolling stands are the bomb. So a couple more things here. This on the floor is another backdrop from Mondi Mitchell, and it is very simple. This going to be the right size? Yeah, close enough. It is a very simple chalkboard painted piece of canvas, heavily used, but a great piece as a floor drop or something to cover a table. I really like this. I think the chalkboard paint comes out looking pretty good. So I'm going to bring that one, just throw this up here by the front. Again, all right, let's move the whole table around. Let's disassemble this area. So this area, beautiful, beautiful hand-painted backdrops from Hand Painted Backdrops UK. Another big light here. Let me see. I'm gonna have to move this whole table, whole area. All right, let me get a clamp. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Thanks for watching the original studio tour, Judith. I appreciate that. It was a long time ago. So now, let me take this, move everything over to this corner. So now, you can watch me as I do this. Cool. So again, another Nan light, Forza 500B Mark II. You know, the one thing I don't like about these Nan lights, as opposed to like Aperture or whatnot, is they use a very unruly type of covering for their cords. It's a very kind of like, think like glossy plastic as opposed to slightly more texturized or rubberized version. And so it's doesn't hold shape very well. It doesn't coil up very well. Come a little unruly. I just don't like them as much. But if that's the only thing I have to complain about, then I'm doing okay. All right. Lower this down a little bit, make it easier to move. So this one in particular has a 60-inch glow octabox. Love this. I mean, it's a huge, see what I mean about these damn cords? I really dislike the way they made these. The 60-inch softbox is beautiful, and having the grid on it really makes nice directional light that I can control. I use this for the majority of my wider portraits. If I have anything that's more than just a kind of like a headshot, I'm basically using this modifier in some way, shape, or form, whether that's as the key or as a fill. So we'll just use these cable stays, maybe. Good Lord, Matt. Do that. Hang that on the side. What do we got? Hey, Matt. Hey, Paul. Thanks, man. Yeah, this nook area, Judith, this is kind of where I do most of my shooting. Sorry if that got a little loud. It's where I do most of my shooting. And I like it because it's right up here by these big garage doors with all this natural light coming in. And then I have, the big curtains that I can close things and shut off the light so that I can just kind of use my constant lights. Another huge piece of fabric, another backdrop that I got from Mondi. These are just pieces of, I think Impact makes these. And they're really just, it's like a big ass bed sheet. It's like 10 by 12. But got a couple of these from her in different colors because I like to drape this over stuff. You can even make a dress out of these. Just taking the fabric, and man, if you really want to see someone making dresses out of nothing but fabric, check out Paulina Gwaltney, Gwaltney. And she makes all sorts of stuff with a stapler. She's amazing creative. Oh, sorry if that was really loud. Sorry, I hit my mic. Oh, I got someone coming in. So I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming. Looks like someone just pulled up. And yeah, so who knows? Maybe I'll be shutting the stream down. But what I'm going to do is keep this going as long as I can. See if they come inside. Yeah, looks like they're coming in. All right, I'll be back in a little bit. I'll be back. Someone's coming in. Don't want them on the stream. Back.